Just make sure he does not move, okay? Tell him do not move. Okay. No, they're on the way. They should be there soon, okay?
Do you know how close they are?
They're a few minutes away, okay?
It would be faster for me to take him off.
No. We don't need you to move him. Don't move him.
Okay.
Her voice shakes, but she keeps talking because silence feels worse. The man beside her is bleeding, and she can see his life slipping away, second by second. The dispatcher tells her not to move him, tells her help is close, tells her to stay calm, but nothing feels close enough. She asks again how far they are, hoping for a different answer, hoping for something faster than time. She looks at him and speaks again, this time softer, like she is trying to hold him here, with her words. He answers, but his voice is weak, fading, almost gone. She refuses to believe what she hears. She keeps saying he will be fine. She keeps saying help is coming. But the truth is already standing there, quiet and heavy.
Okay, come on. No, you're not. Come on, you're not. Okay, I'm sorry.
No, don't move him. Tell him don't move.
They're coming up, okay? You're not gonna die, okay?
No, he's not. He's gonna be fine.
It's me. They're coming, okay?
What happened in those minutes before this call changed everything. And it did not start at the warehouse. It started on the road. It was supposed to be a normal drive. Nathaniel Padgett, 34 years old, was doing his job like any other day. He was driving a FedEx truck from Port St. Lucie to Riviera Beach. His wife was sitting beside him. Nothing felt strange. Nothing felt dangerous. Then another car came close. A gray Hyundai Sonata pulled up next to the truck. The driver, Tyler Vidro, 25 years old, rolled down his window. He did not ask for help. He did not signal to stop. He just made gestures, shrugging his shoulders and raising his hands, like he wanted a reaction. Nathaniel did not respond. He kept driving. That should have been the end. But it was not. Tyler stayed behind him. Mile after mile, exit after exit, he followed the truck. This was not a short chase. This went on for close to 40 miles. There were many chances to stop, to turn away, to let it go. He did not take any of them. Nathaniel noticed. Anyone would. A car that does not leave your back for that long is not normal. Still, he did not stop on the road. He did not fight. He chose something else. He drove to a place he thought was safe. The FedEx facility on West Blue Heron Boulevard was not open to strangers. It was a private area with cameras, gates, and workers who came and went on schedule. It was the kind of place where a problem should end, not continue. At around 9:14 p.m., Nathaniel drove inside. For a moment, it should have been over, but Tyler followed him in. He was not supposed to be there. Police later said he had no reason to enter that property. Still, his car came in just seconds after the truck. Cameras saw everything. Tyler stopped his car in the lot. He got out. He walked around. He waited. His actions did not look random. They looked planned, like he was expecting something, like he wanted the next moment to happen. Nathaniel parked and got down from his truck. He was close to finishing his shift. He wanted to move to his personal vehicle and leave. But Tyler was already there, and he was not leaving. Surveillance audio picked up Tyler's voice first. "You hit my car." That was his claim. Nathaniel did not agree. He tried to move past him. He wanted to reach his own truck and leave. He told Tyler to step back, to get out of his face. There was tension, but still no violence. Nathaniel got into his personal vehicle and drove away from that spot, moving around the building. Police later said this was a clear attempt to leave and avoid trouble. But Tyler followed again. He got back into his car and chased him across the same property. The situation was no longer just words. It was now movement, pursuit, pressure. Nathaniel stopped again, this time at the edge of a private roadway. He stepped out, and then something changed. On the ground nearby, there was a concrete block. It was heavy, about the size of a bowling ball. Nathaniel picked it up. He did not throw it. He did not run with it. He held it. Police later said the video showed it clearly. The block stayed low, near his waist. It was not raised in a striking position. It was not used as an attack. He spoke again, telling Tyler he did not hit his car and questioning why he was being followed. It was a moment where things could still stop, but they did not. Gunshots broke the silence. Multiple flashes were seen. The sound was fast and sharp. The system nearby that detects gunfire picked it up almost instantly. Nathaniel was hit. The block dropped from his hands. He fell before he could reach safety. The entire moment happened in seconds. The area changed from quiet to chaos. Nathaniel lay on the ground, badly injured. He had been shot multiple times. Blood spread across the concrete. His wife rushed to him, trying to understand what just happened. She called 911. Her voice carried fear, confusion, and urgency. She answered questions, tried to follow instructions, and kept talking to him at the same time. She was told not to move him. She was told help was coming. Police would later confirm that around 9 shell casings from a 9mm firearm were found at the scene. That number tells its own story. This was not one shot. This was a repeated fire. Every second after mattered. Nathaniel Padgett was not just a driver. He was a father of 3 children. He worked long hours. He provided for his family. People who knew him described him as someone who showed up, not just once, but every day. He was building a life. On that night, he was doing something simple. He was finishing work. He was heading toward home. He did not chase trouble. Trouble followed him, and even when it did, he tried to avoid it. He kept driving. He chose distance over conflict, but distance did not save him. Around 9:36 p.m., about 20 minutes after the gunfire, Tyler Vidro finally picked up his phone and called the police. By that time, Nathaniel Padgett was already fighting for his life on the ground, surrounded by panic, blood, and the sound of sirens getting closer. Vidro was not at the scene anymore. He had driven away and stopped at a nearby Sunoco gas station. Tyler Vidro was 25 years old. Before that night, there was no connection between him and Nathaniel. They were complete strangers, with no shared past and no reason to ever cross paths. But something on the road changed that. Police say Tyler believed his car had been hit. Instead of reporting it or letting it go, he chose confrontation. He followed Nathaniel for miles, entered private property without permission, and stayed in the situation even when there were clear chances to leave. When dispatch answered his call, he did not sound confused or shaken. He spoke clearly and said he had used his firearm because he felt threatened. When the dispatcher asked if he had shot someone, he said yes. He described the victim only as a black male and could not give clear details about clothing or condition. He repeated that he felt in danger. He said he had to use his gun because he feared for his life. Then came the line that stood out. "I didn't think to call you guys, but the lawyer told me to." That one sentence changed how everything felt. This was not a rushed call made in fear. This was a delayed call, made after leaving the scene, after time had passed, after decisions had already been made. And while he was explaining his side, the evidence being collected at the scene was already beginning to tell a very different story. Officers were already responding to the shooting when Vidro's call came in. The location of the gunfire had already been detected through the ShotSpotter system, and the 911 call from Nathaniel's wife confirmed the situation. Units were moving quickly between the warehouse and nearby roads, closing in from multiple directions. Police reached the scene within minutes. Emergency responders focused first on saving Nathaniel. He was found with multiple gunshot wounds and rushed to St. Mary's Medical Center. Doctors worked on him for hours, trying to keep him alive, but the injuries were too severe. At around 11:28 p.m., he was pronounced dead. While medical teams fought for his life, investigators at the scene began their work. They collected shell casings and marked their positions carefully. They examined the ground, the vehicles, and the surrounding area in detail. Every inch mattered. They also secured surveillance footage from multiple cameras placed around the facility. The video told a clear story. It showed both men entering the property. It showed Vidro waiting. It showed Nathaniel trying to move away. It showed Vidro following him inside the lot. And then it showed the shooting. Audio added another layer. It captured voices, words, and timing. It helped place actions in exact moments. The concrete block was also closely examined. Its position, how it was held, and the fact that it was never used as a weapon became a key part of the investigation. Every piece of evidence added to the timeline. At the same time, Vidro's location made things easier for police. He was found sitting at a nearby gas station, not hiding, but also not helping the man he had just shot. His vehicle matched the description. The timeline matched. Everything connected quickly. Officers detained him and began questioning him at the scene. They informed him of his rights. He chose to speak, and what he said added another layer to a story that was already coming together, piece by piece. According to reports, Vidro admitted that he had fired his weapon. Not just once, not just a few shots. He said he had emptied the magazine. That means he kept firing until there were no bullets left. This was not a warning shot. This was not a single moment of panic. This was continuous fire. After saying this, he asked for a lawyer. Questioning stopped, but by then, the damage was already done, and the statement was already part of the case. Police took him into custody for further investigation. At the same time, another team was still at the FedEx facility, collecting evidence piece by piece. The scene at 1177 West Blue Heron Boulevard was locked down. Officers marked every detail. 9 9mm shell casings were recovered. Each one showed a shot fired, a moment in the sequence, a part of the story that could not be taken back. Surveillance footage became one of the strongest parts of the case. Multiple cameras showed the same chain of events from different angles. They showed Vidro entering private property without permission. They showed him waiting. They showed him following Nathaniel even after he tried to leave. Most importantly, they showed the final seconds. Nathaniel holding the concrete block at waist level. Nathaniel speaking. Then gunfire. Detectives clearly noted that the block was not thrown. It was not raised above the shoulder. It was not used as an attack. That detail mattered, because the claim of self-defense depends on immediate danger, and the video did not show that. The probable cause affidavit laid out the timeline, step by step. It stated that Vidro initiated the confrontation on the road. It confirmed that he followed Nathaniel for a long distance across county lines. It highlighted that he entered a restricted commercial property where he had no legal reason to be. It pointed out that Nathaniel tried to disengage multiple times. He kept driving. He moved away inside the facility. He attempted to leave again in his personal vehicle. Each time, Vidro followed. The affidavit used clear language. It described this not as a random fight, but as a continued action. A choice repeated again and again. Follow, wait, confront, chase, and finally, shoot. At the police station, Nathaniel's wife gave her statement. She had been there from the start. She described the moment on the turnpike when Vidro pulled up beside them and began making gestures, trying to provoke a reaction. She explained how Nathaniel stayed calm and chose not to respond. She described the feeling of being followed, the stress of seeing the same car behind them for miles, the confusion of not knowing what the other driver wanted. When they reached the FedEx facility, she thought it would end. Instead, it continued. She confirmed that Nathaniel did not want to fight at his workplace. She said he tried to avoid the situation, but Vidro kept pushing. Then she described the moment of the shots. Her words helped confirm what the cameras already showed. Nathaniel was not the aggressor. He was trying to get away. At the center of everything was a simple claim. You hit my car. That was the reason given by Vidro. A possible scratch, a small contact, something that usually ends with insurance details and a short conversation. But this did not end there. Instead of stopping safely on the road, instead of calling police, instead of letting it go, Vidro chose to chase 40 miles. That distance became one of the strongest points against him, because fear does not follow someone for 40 miles. Fear looks for safety. This looked different. This looked like anger, like control, like a need to confront. And in the end, it turned deadly. After reviewing the evidence, prosecutors moved forward with serious charges. Vidro was charged with first-degree murder. Not second degree, not manslaughter. First degree. This charge means the act was intentional and planned, even if the planning happened over a short time. The long pursuit, the entry into private property, the waiting, the repeated chasing inside the facility, all supported that idea. He was also charged with aggravated stalking. That charge reflected the pursuit, the continued following across a long distance. In court, a judge reviewed the details. Bond was denied. That meant Vidro would remain in custody while the case moved forward. His next court date was set. The trial process had begun. Vidro's defense focused on one main claim: self-defense. They argued that he felt threatened when Nathaniel approached with the concrete block. They pointed to fear, to the moment, to the idea that he believed he was in danger. But prosecutors pushed back with facts. The video did not show an attack. The block was not used. Nathaniel did not rush forward. Instead, it showed a man standing, speaking, holding an object low, following someone for 40 miles, entering private property, and continuing the confrontation made the self-defense claim weaker. Because the law does not support someone who creates the danger and then reacts to it. That difference became central to the case. As the case moved forward, the impact spread beyond the courtroom. Nathaniel's family was left with a loss that could not be fixed. 3 children lost their father. His partner lost someone she saw fighting for life just moments before. A GoFundMe was created to help with funeral costs and support the family. At the same time, people in the community spoke about road rage. Many said it was common, but this case showed how far it could go. What starts as a small moment on the road can grow into something much bigger when one person refuses to let it go. The trial will decide the final outcome. The charges are serious. Vidro is charged with premeditated murder and stalking, according to court records, though it is still not clear if he has entered a plea. The evidence is strong, and every detail, from the first gesture on the highway to the last shot at the warehouse, is now part of a case that will be studied, argued, and remembered. But one thing is already clear. This did not have to happen, and yet it did. As the case moves forward, Nathaniel's family is left dealing with a loss that cannot be repaired. A GoFundMe has already raised over $7,000 to help cover his funeral expenses, showing how many people were touched by his life. Now the question is simple, but heavy. Do you think this was self-defense, or did it cross the line long before the trigger was pulled? Let me know what you think.